What's up guys, this is Pendant, and this is a compilation of all of my recent lineups. A lot of these are quite useful and really just meant to showcase how far you can really take your utility usage, but mainly they're just for entertainment, so let's just go right ahead and get into this. Our first lineup is an ace lineup that goes straight through the skylight and takes out one of the back walls and the offices here. I am on 84 FOV with a 90 HUD scale, so keep that in mind when you're doing these. Make sure to only use this lineup if you know for a fact that no one is occupying that side of the map. Then moving on, this is on bank. This is going to take out any utility on the elevator wall here. And we're also going to pair this with an ace lineup that creates a bit of a one-way angle and is super consistent. So to do the lineup with a grenade to take out the wall utility, you just sneak into ATMs, back yourself into that corner, and then you want to aim there and then dash forward as you throw. That'll get the maximum distance. And I'm just showing this example here where someone's bandit tricking because this could be useful when you're actually doing the ace lineup that I'm going to show after this. So this is realistically the only lineup that will actually hit the elevators. I know it's not the safest, but if you have someone covering you, you just simply walk in, toss it just like that. You got to dash forward again. That'll take out anyone in the elevator. And now the ace lineup that I've been mentioning. So you just want to line yourself up in front of the police badge here. Go to this little section in the floor. The reason that you want to do the lineup is because it is consistent and it makes it so that you create this one-way angle without getting picked from the window or anything. Because as you'll see, once I go upside down here, there's no way that anyone is contesting this angle without exposing themselves, and it's just, you're in a huge advantage with this one. And with this next lineup, I didn't really think of pairing these together, but it actually could work. So if you had the wall open with ace and you wanted to have a teammate push up marble stairs, you could also do this lineup with sens. So we do this first grenade lineup right by the vent unit here, and it's going to take out any utility or anyone stumbling around at the top of the stairs here. And then I'll show you another lineup in a moment here where the sens wall will actually cover that entire section of the top of the platform. You won't be able to act on this right away, but you can set it for later in the round unless you have someone coming from the lower levels. But I think it's a great idea. It's really easy to do. And the cool thing about this sens lineup, I don't know if you guys have seen my video before, but there's a way to actually see under a gap in a sens wall. And this is one of the positions where you can do it. So let's say you threw the grenade, you cleared out all the barbed wire, anything that's sitting there, you throw the sens wall, you have your teammate let you know when to pop it, and they have this one-way angle and they can safely push the top of the stairs. It's kind of insane. I think it's a little broken, to be honest, but super easy, super effective, and it's a perfect example of how that gadget actually works. So let's go ahead and move on to another grenade lineup. This is on Clubhouse. Super easy way to sink a grenade right into the red drone hole at the start of the round. I usually use the right side of the indicator for the grenade to line this up, but if you look below the compass, you can kind of see that it's going in the drone hole anyways. It's pretty easy, just make sure that it's not showing that it's bouncing back. It's a great way to turn the match into a 4v5 as soon as the round starts. So for this one, we're gonna jump over to Villa, and this is just an insanely complex way to use sens. You could use this as your team pushes through the connector window or as they're pushing through master side. It just obscures basically everything in that site. So again, 84 FOV, 90 HUD scale. What I'm doing here is using the T from EXT to line that up underneath the lamp. For the second lineup, I'm basically using the T again, but I'm bringing it down to line up with the part of the window frame that I highlighted. And this grenade, I'm using the north face of the compass right at the top left corner of the lamp. That is going to hit right here. And honestly, if you're a character with a grenade, I would use this just about any time that I'm on Villa. Also, I'm terribly sorry if any of that is hard to understand. I'm editing on an iPhone and it's kind of difficult to convey what I want to. Just practice in a custom, and after a few tries, you'll understand and you'll never even have to think about it. But anyways, let's move on to the next lineup, which is probably potentially the most insane post-plant grenade that would ever be pulled off, ever. You could honestly just wait around and have your team pull off the default plant, or if it was a 1v1, jump out the window, run over here, and you have one chance because if you throw two grenades, the second one is going to fall through the floor every time. But yeah, if you pull this off, you better tag me, clip it, and let me know immediately. It is just insane. So we're gonna move on to a section of the video where the main focus is gonna be really absurd smoke lineups. And I know, just play rafters, play this position. That's not what this is about at all. This is to show you that you can be really creative and effective with just about any type of gadget in the game. So if you want to play smoke but you don't want to play rafters, then you have the opportunity to do this and prevent anyone that's in the garage door from actually backing out. So you can back up your teammates without really actually being present. And it also gives you the option to jump out of con window, this one specifically I mean, to hit the little rat corner outside of the main breach. And this particular lineup really showcases that if you're willing to take a risk with this character, you can almost entirely flip around on its head with one single smoke. You can hit default plants from really far positions. You can hit impossible to counter spots just like this. You can save your teammates or get an immediate free pick by using these kinds of things. Because once that canister pops, you need to move or you're going to be spectating in the next few seconds. Like, it's a really powerful tool. And here's another lineup that really highlights that. So if anyone has the main breach open, you just simply toss this right through the hatch and logi, and this will make it so no one can really hide behind the jacuzzi. If you want to hit anywhere else, just do the lineup, but aim to the right or left, whichever you want. But this one, if anyone's droning, calling out to their team, they're going to be cooked. Just let your teammates know that you popped it and they can swing the breach and take out anyone running from the smoke. Now this next lineup is really situational, but it is insanely easy to prep. All you need to do is just make a hole like this in the stage wall. And if it's like the last minute of the round, so let's say they're attempting to drop blue, this will force them to drop or force them to fall off of the hatch and maybe win you guys the round. I know this is like one of those 1 in a million situations where it may or may not work, but it's just too cool not to include in this video. I really love this one. And also this whole hatch to hatch concept actually got me thinking. So the next one I'm going to show you is on bank. It's kind of the same thing. It's from the server room hatch all the way to the little office hatch here. And I know you're probably thinking like, why on earth would a smoke even be in server room? But I just came up with it and I have to post it because why not? These hatches are actually something that I've been trying to contest for quite some time because when those hatches are open, defending basement is kind of miserable. So the next idea is something that is also not perfect, but it might inspire you to bring this tech to another map. So as you saw there in that clip, what I'm doing is throwing an impact through the little window straight from the hatch. It's gonna pop this goyo canister that is sitting right in the office. And I mean, you could technically just leave that and let your teammates know that it is there, so if they want to throw an impact, they can. But again, it's not perfect, but it is something that you could technically bring to another map. I think you could also throw an impact to detonate that canister right from the vault hallway, but let's move on. So this is a very situational, very much just for fun type of lineup. It is a smoke lineup that goes straight from the top of these stairs right into the entrance of the dirt tunnel. And the thought behind this was have a clash actually push in as soon as prep phase ends, block them in, get a bunch of chip damage. It's a cool idea. Like I said, very much just for fun. You can obviously have them walk away from spawn with like minus 80 HP if you do this successfully. It's kind of ridiculous. And here's actually the exact same concept, but this is on Oregon this time. So we're gonna go all the way up to the trophy room here. So you just bust out the window, crouch in front of this chair, make sure your crosshair is right in the top center of the window, and this will prevent anyone from actually leaving the bunker. So again, just like on bank, you pair this with a clash, you get the heads up from a teammate that someone is there, and they are not walking away without being damaged significantly. This one is going to make someone angry, so I just want to say now, I will not be held responsible for any damaged equipment once you pull that off. But anyways, sticking with the theme, we have another smoke lineup. This is going to cover the entire aqua balk. You could technically do this at the start of the round when you get info that someone is on the balcony itself, or in a post-plant situation where they hit default and ran out. All you need to do is just do the first lineup, wait a few seconds and pop it, and you could actually defuse under the smoke. It's a little insane, pretty situational, but if you pull that off, you'd be feeling pretty good. I might have another video on the way where I'm showcasing a bunch more smoke lineups, and there's ones that you can hit the spawn with, you can hit poolside, runes, you can even hit the couch's position outside of hookah. The fact that Coastline has that open courtyard really makes it a playground for smoke. You can throw these things just about anywhere, really. And not only is Coastline really amazing for smoke lineups, it's also really, really good for grenade lineups. But I'm sure you guys already know that because that clip of the aqua drone hole grenade, I think that has like over 8 million views total. And that's something that I came up with not too long ago. But anyways, this one is going to hit the main window. It's really easy, straight into spawn. Throw it over this little corner here to the right. It's going to land right in the windowsill. You throw a second grenade or have a teammate bust open the window, it will almost bounce towards the actual rotate into hookah. I think if I got hit by this while I was like setting up a castle on the main window, I would lose my mind. It's just so perfect, like it straight up just bounces right into the window. So let's go ahead and move away from Coastline. We're going to go to Chalet for this one. So this is just a funny idea. I don't know how serious this one really is. It just, if anyone was late setting up utility on that trench door, you just throw a grenade right over this tree. It goes all the way from spawn right into the door. And if you hit this specific pixel, it will sometimes bounce off the bottom of the door frame and bounce even further into trench, but it's really hard to pull off. But I did just find that recently, so I thought it'd be cool to include. And next is a skylight to red hatch smoke canister throw on Kafe. So for this one, all I'm doing to pull off the lineup is making sure that the west face of the compass is kind of in the middle of that section of the wall. And this one actually lands in such a perfect way that no corner in this little box here is safe. so they'd have to either push through or return down the stairs. Either way, it's going to burn a lot of time and a lot of HP. And this lineup is cool because it lets you kind of have a little more freedom in positioning when you're playing smoke upstairs. And speaking of the top floor on Kafe, this is a lineup that you can do right as soon as you rappel up to the wall here. So there's no specific lineup for this one really, but you just have to watch the grenade indicator. As soon as you see it sink over the skylight, it's going to bounce straight through the little rotate and pop right here. And our next trick actually affects the same position, but this time it's with ying. We're going to bounce it off of the AC unit, it's going to roll through the skylight and pop in the perfect position to let you rappel straight into the heaven window and take control of the site. Instead of popping a smoke here, you can just throw another candela if you want, but I think the fact that you can just run straight across the balcony, swing the double doors, it's going to throw everyone off. You could even throw maybe a grim or a buck from below and use that strat, it's pretty cool. But we're now approaching the final tricks of the video, so this is going to be mainly on Oregon. This is how you take out any utility on the attic wall as well as any rats sitting in the little corner by the box. Just bust out the floor here, shoot out the top part of the attic wall, crouch down, get the grenade indicator over the lip of that door frame, and that's going to completely prevent them from running away. Just be mindful of any teammates trying to approach that wall. I mean, it would be pretty upsetting if you got killed by that through a maverick hole, for example. So our next lineup is kind of from a random position, but what this does is it makes sure that on the bedroom side of the rotate into attic, this grenade is going to pop right in front of it. You just bounce it off the window frame. You can throw 2 grenades to bust out the window, or just have a teammate shoot it out. It's really up to you. And moving on, this is the final lineup. So this is going to hit the attic drop. What I would do to make this one successful is basically just do 3, 2, 1 with a teammate, bust open the window, throw this grenade. It's going to take out anyone sitting on the drop platform. You just got to practice these things and they will work if you want them to. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Drop a sub. Keep your eye out for the next video. I really appreciate you guys taking the time to watch this. And I'm super sorry for the quality of the video. Editing on an iPhone is really difficult, but I appreciate you guys hanging in there. Thank you. Take care.